Welcome to the next episode of Bottom of the Bay. First off, I just want to say thank you for being a guest and helping pave the way for Southside artists like me and a host of others that respect your talent and your longevity. Justin Engel, welcome, bro.
What up, man? It's good.
It's glad to have you on, man. Like, it's been a long time coming. I got a bunch of things I want to know. So first and foremost, what city you from and what high school did you go to?
Born and raised San Jose, and I went to a couple of different high schools, but I graduated from Piedmont High. I got into a little bit of a mess, a little bit of trouble when I was, I think, a freshman, and I had to go do I went on summer vacation, extended stay, we'll just say that. And when I came back, I had to do some continuation school, and I went to a school called Calaveras Hills in Milpitas. It was a continuation school. Got my credits up at continuation school, and then I was able to transfer back to Piedmont, and then I walked the stage with my class, and I graduated from Piedmont.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you come from a big family or a small family, you say?
Very big family.
Very big family, huh?
Yeah.
Are they most of them from California or?
All over the place, but a majority right now is in California and Louisiana.
Oh, okay. That's right. How would you say your childhood was coming up in the Bay Area?
Depends on what age we look at, right? I would say I had a good childhood, adolescence got a little rocky, I think that was more environmentally, like the area we were in. We kind of went through our tests in our adolescent age, But as far as family, definitely had I was blessed, got a good family.
Okay. So this one is a two-part question. At what age did you learn music, and how long after did you start creating your own music?
At what age did I learn? See, I never formally learned. Everything was all by ear, and I just figured things out. So I can't say that learning music is really a lifelong thing to kind of polish the craft. But I would say at like 14 or 15 is when I made my first beat. And we were blessed to have some talented people in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And in my complex, I lived in like a townhome kind of apartment complex. And in our complex, we had some families move in, you know what I'm saying? A lot of divorcee single parents moved into our complex with kids, and I made some of my best friends there. And one of my closest friends when we were younger, dude by the name of Johnny Manic, his older brother.
That sounds familiar. Was he a producer?
No, he's actually a rock and roll dude, and he did a lot of music for like MTV shows like Viva La Bam and stuff like that, where they crash skateboards.
Yeah, I remember that show.
He ended up, because he was like a professional skateboarder and stuff like that, and he had a good run. But his older brother was a guy that goes by the name Peanut Butter Wolf. And Peanut Butter Wolf was like, man, he's probably one of the biggest, to this day, the biggest cats that ever came out of San Jose, but he was he was a DJ producer. And long story short, I made my first beat on one of his old keyboards that one of the other homies ended up buying off of him when he was like upgrading his gear. The homie Sid, shout out to Tape Master Steph, got a hold to one of his, I think it was an Ensoniq EPS sampler keyboard. And Tape Master Steph in our little neighborhood was the one that was like the guy who made the beats and stuff. And he worked with cats like Dave Dub, Persevere, like a lot of cats that were on like Stone's Throw Records. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but that
I was mad young. I remember all these names, but I don't know. I got no faces to the.
A lot of established like underground hip hop cats came from that umbrella, like your
Because I remember like
MF
China's
Doom.
Cabinet and stuff like that.
What's that?
I remember China's Cabinet.
China's Cabinet, yeah.
That was it around that same era?
Different though. This was more like backpacker hip hop.
Okay,
And
I
so
got
I
you.
started off in that environment. You know, we'd hang out at Tape Master Steph's house. His name's Sid, and he would make the beats and stuff. And we were just kind of the kids in the neighborhood. We weren't even taken serious as rappers. You know, like we would be like, I want to rap, let me rap, and they'd be like, nah. You know, we were the youngsters. But eventually, like Sid, Tape Master Steph, worked with me and was like, he said, I tell you what, I'll run the board, but you could play the keys and like kind of guide me on what sounds to use and what you want. And I made my first beat with him, and it was like out the gates, my first beat ever was like a slapper, and like I didn't even know I knew how to do it, you know what I'm saying? Even like finding the keys and the scales, I just played it by ear. But that's a kind of long story short, that's how I got into it. Just had an opportunity to work with the neighborhood homie that had the equipment. He had some talents and abilities, and I just dove right in, and that's how I made my first beat.
No, that's amazing, man. So you pretty much, the reason why I asked that is because when I asked, how did you learn? Because I don't really know how to play, but somebody like kind of taught me how to use a drum machine and like if you hit these two keys and how to stay in sync and stuff. But you're all self-taught though.
Self-taught. Well, a lot of it too was just observing, like getting a start with those cats in our neighborhood. I was that guy that would be quiet watching the older guys do their thing and record and how to set up the mic. And back then we used to record on tapes with literally like little 4-track tape recorders, and I would just watch how they did it and how they multi-track. And you know, most of the learning for me was just like emulating what I saw, you know, and then asking questions like, hey, why did you push that button? What did that do? How did you make it do that? And then they would just kind of go like, oh, I just did this, that, and the other. And I would just lock it in. But that's how I learned.
That's cool, man. That's like God-given talent right there.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. I never really looked at it like that. It's just like when you kind of have a passion and a desire to create, you figure out a way to create.
That's hard.
You know?
Are there any artists who you draw inspiration from?
These days, I'm really big on like a lot of the live music, R&B. But like going back, like, you know, I was like was inspired musically by like Dr. Dre's production and stuff like that. But like lyrically, I'm a Nas guy. I'm a Wu-Tang guy. Man, I mean, I liked a lot of the East Coast stuff, but I also, when I first locked in with rap, it was Bay Area artists like RBL Posse, Dre Dog, Mac Mall, Mac Dre, E40, but like original E40, Mr. Flamboyant E40, Be Legit, The Click. You know, that's when I really was like, I think I want to do this. Like, you know what I mean? When I heard Bay Area rappers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when Roy from Killer Sharks informed me that you was the man behind the music.
On the Killer Sharks 2000, man, Jay Rilla produced a lot of that, you know.
Jay Rilla?
Yes, sir.
The rapper Jay Rilla?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jay Rilla was a producer first.
Hold up, dog. Hold on. hold on. See, now you throwing curveballs.
Yeah.
Jay Rilla.
Yeah.
The light-skinned dude with the braids that used to be a... Wow, I did not know he made beats, bro.
Oh, bro, Jay Rilla, we met when he was about 19 years old.
I wanted to ask, do you feel your mission as a rapper and a producer as Jay Rilla was complete?
I don't think so, nah. But I think I'm actually still on that. I'm still writing that story because like I don't even go by that name no more because I feel like I wanted to really tap in with my authentic identity, you know, no gimmicks, no names, no image. And I think that at that age, you know, we all kind of had street names. We had our little neighborhoods and cliques, and everybody went by a little nickname. And that was the nickname that I kind of took on. But, you know, that name kind of came with, there was just a lot of, I got to a moment where I think maybe locally I was overexposed, if that's even such a thing, where it was like, your name kind of takes on a life of its own. A lot of rumors come up and just a lot of street stuff, chaos. And, you know, I kind of felt like I needed a rebirth and really shed myself of any kind of personas and facades that could be perceived and really lock in with, like, you know, with my government name, my real name. I started going by Justin Engel, you know. Mm-hmm. And I took an effort to kind of refine my messaging in my music, because you know what I learned as Jay Rilla back in those days? I learned the power of music spiritually. And, you know, like one of my cousins was saying, like, this is one of my cousins that he never was a rapper before. He goes by the name K-Dog, but, okay. And he was from our neighborhood, my cousin. And he would always tell me, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to spit out that pain, spit the pain out. And that's what we did a lot. And I think the energy in the Jay Rilla days, rap-wise, it came from a very real place, but it was like, it was one of those things like, I would take out a lot of aggression on the mic and on this music, and I learned the power of that negative energy grows, you know, when you put it out there. And I look at it like in hindsight as a grown man now, mm-hmm. a little wiser. It's like, it's boomerangs we throw out there. And if you're throwing negative energy boomerangs, they come back. And I think I pump my own brakes on my own music career and trajectory, because so many negative boomerangs thrown out coming back, you know, and it comes back at random. Like, just that, you see it right now, even with the youngsters that are blowing up right now. They got a lot of chaos in the streets. It's a lot of controversy, a lot of losses, you know, friends losing lives, a lot of drug abuse, a lot of, fathering children and not being able to see them. It's just that mentality, that street hood mentality is kind of self-destructive. So for me, I got to a point, even with the engineering and producing, I think I got to a point of wanting something more for myself aside from the negative energy. I wanted to seek out some positive energy. And I got to a point where I wasn't even recording clients that was making negative music, that violence against our own people kind of thing. I really started getting, maybe I got closer to God. I had some moments where, you know, sometimes they say you find God once you see the devil. And I got to a point that I saw the devil, you know, in a lot of this stuff that was going on. So it caused me to kind of redirect and reevaluate my approach musically. And I got to a point where I tapped out. Like, I don't even want it like that no more. Because initially when I got into music, I was like one of them artists. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to like.
That's what I got from you, man.
Like Pac was like, you know, Pac said he wanted to stimulate the mind. He said, I might not change the world, but maybe I'll inspire the mind that does change the world. I was on that kind of page, like I wanted to do something more than just throwing negative boomerangs out and having a lot of controversy.
Where are you getting the negative? I didn't get negative from you.
You know, it
the
was
album,
it was a lot
your
of what
image,
we had
your lyrics. You wasn't really like super tough on that.
I never really was, but it was just being where we're from, who we're with, who our family, friends, who we run with. It just happened. It was just a lot of.
I got you. Well, let me just tell you this, dog.
Pulled into things.
You're a lyricist, man.
I appreciate
when I used to listen to you, this is the thing about you, where your album and your music stood out versus everybody else's. I didn't know you were a producer until here recently.
Right on.
But as far as your writing and the beat choice and stuff like that, bro, I thought you were a signed artist. Like, that was the image of you when I was young. I was like, God damn.
I had some deals, and they just they never made it through to a major release. You know, I even did a deal with
your rapping voice. One of the coldest rapping voices. Yeah.
That's just my voice.
That shit was just, I know, but like a lot of people don't have that, dog. Like you had a cold ass rapping voice, your transitions, the way you were writing at that time, dog, like you were one of my favorite like rappers.
I appreciate it. I received that, bro.
And I really do listen to a lot of local stuff. That's why we call Bottom of the Bay. Like I don't just be out here blowing smoke up people's butt, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I got from you. And I understand it. I understand what you're saying as far as like the negativity and stuff and how stuff just kind of starts to grow after a while.
It does.
And you touched on it a little bit, man, but it seemed like more your efforts were into the creative part of what you were doing for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is though, like with some folks, man, the image and the clout of it is more important than, like, not even for you, but for the other people that consume. So, you know, for me, I want to keep it about the art, the expression, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt like it was that part of it was running away from me, and it started becoming more image and more clout and who you connected with, who you know, who you were. And it's, for me, I just lost that. I lost that desire to really, I didn't want to chase it for those reasons. So, and I felt like the game took a turn that I would not be my authentic self if I would have tried to chase the sound that wasn't my sound. And I really, it wasn't even so much of trying to find my sound. It was like trying to find myself as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like just growing up, bro. Like, because I was a teenager when all that stuff was popping off, like I ate, slept, and breathed music, and my grown man business was lacking. Like a lot of cats went to school, they got good jobs. I stayed in the studio all the time. And so I got to a point where I was just like, you know, I need to focus on my grown man and less on this. Like I got to a point literally where I had hard drives. We used to have these big hard drives full of sounds. I gave my hard drive sounds to Tracks a Million and cats like that I was like, it's your, it's y'all time. Like you're the truth right now. If you can salvage anything out of these hard drives, these sounds, use them, take them, run with them. I didn't really want no part of rap music. I literally was like trying to find a female singer to produce or something. Like I wanted to get away from that energy, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like maybe it's just a part of maturity growing older or something. I just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to deal with no chaos no more. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of took a different route. I got married, had kids, you know what I'm saying? Got a regular job, worked on my grown man stuff, you know, got all that stuff situated. But now I'm just kind of finding myself at a place in my life where it's like, I know who I am now. I'm locked in, and I'm really just trying to explore. And really, I really enjoy exploring live music, you know what I'm saying? Creating with a band and stuff. It's a whole different beast. And
that was going where I was rolling into next. But before we get to that, you have your own record label too, though, right?
I do, GSM Records.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
It started off as just a publishing company. Gorilla Slap Music was the original acronym for that. I started doing a lot of producing and stuff and recording and engineering for like local casts. And I had a management company that was lacing me in to do things real legitimate. And it kind of led me to licensing some songs for some TV shows and stuff. I did some MTV shows, CSI Miami, a bunch of little like, you know, like those Friday night 8 p.m. shows where they would put music in the background or like scenes and stuff. So I was licensing, making a little money that way. And from all that, I had to create a publishing company because they won't license your music unless it's legit. So that led me to start Gorilla Slap Music Publishing. You know, I was selling beats to I did some stuff on Be Legit's album. I produced a song on his album was called Hard to Be Legit, I think it was.
I remember that Hard to Be Legit album. You have a beat on there?
I did a beat on there, and I'm on vocals, like on the hook.
Oh yeah, I'm going back to that.
On one of those, and then I did 2 tracks on Andre Nicotina's Conversation with the Devil.
What?
I did 2 tracks on that one.
What the are you for real?
Yeah, for real. But it's crazy because back in those days, we did beat CDs. Like producers would make CDs and circulate the beat CDs. I had 3 different CDs. I had batch A, batch B, and batch C. Obviously, batch A was the ones that I thought were those would go, there were the hitters. Batch B was they're not as good as those, but they're good. And then I had batch C that I thought, well, I'll just put them out there. Maybe someone want it. But I thought they weren't that good. It was funny because all the beats that people were picking were off of my batch C. And I was like, if you like it, that's fine. But I guess they liked it because it was different at that time. But yeah, so even the Be Legit beat was off batch C. The Andre Nicotina's was off batch C. But I had a lot of cats pull up through my studio, man. I recorded some of the cats that went on to do big things. Like I had the honor of actually recording on several recording sessions. Mac Dre, Baby Bash. He was Baby Beesh at the time, and he came through.
I thought my partner was lying when he was saying Baby Bash's name was Baby Beesh.
Baby Beesh. And then when he signed the major deal, I guess there was, I don't know, they had some reason to change it. They changed it to Bash. You know, shoot, who else? I mean, San Quinn. I got an unreleased song right now with San Quinn I never released from back that era. JT the Bigger Figure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was, you know, I was linked in and networking and whatnot, but like I said, around that, by the time that started happening, I really lost the taste for rap. Like I just didn't like the direction it was going. I didn't feel like it was a good fit for me. So I really tried to produce R&B. I started my own label, and I signed my first artist that I worked with was actually my niece. She goes by the name Justine Perez, and you know, R&B, kind of dance, pop. We were just trying something different. Mm-hmm. And for me, I just wanted to get into a little more positive space, you know what I mean?
I like that.
And so I tried that. And that's kind of how I started that label.
Nice. So the GTC band.
Yes, sir.
They're a crowd favorite around the Bay. How did you guys form? And what's the mission?
So the GTC, that stands for the Good Time Collective. And really, it's kind of self-explanatory, the name. We're a collective of musicians. And I can't take credit for, being the founder of the band, but before I joined, it was actually called the Good Time Charlies.
Huh.
And it was a cover band. It was started by Michael Ray. And, you know, in the Bay Area, there's kind of a small community of musicians because we kind of depend on each other to fill in for each other if someone's sick.
Yeah.
It's actually harder than you think to get 7, 8 cats locked in on a schedule to play a gig and learn songs. So you have to get a lot of different musicians. Sometimes a drum player's sick, a keyboard player's sick, or maybe they got another gig. So we meet a lot of people. And I was playing in this other band called Pacific Soul at the time. And, you know, things got to a close with that band. And, you know, Mike Ray kind of heard that I was looking to perform, and he started inviting me to sit in on some sessions, some gigs they would do. And, you know, I was sitting in with them. I was sitting in with the No Water After Midnight band. Shout out to Lonnie and Tara. And when Lonnie and Tara they moved to Texas. Originally, I was invited to be like the lead singer of No Water After Midnight, and I kind of thought about it and was like, nah, that's Lonnie's thing. They got their own sound. I was like, I want to start my own thing. And I got invited by Mike Ray to join this Good Time Charlies band. And I was like, look, your band is fire, but I don't like that name. I was like, I don't want to be on the Charlies like that. let's make this make sense. And so we kind of came together and agreed that we would, you know, I would join that band if we kind of fixed up the name a little bit, got the branding a little better. So we all had kind of agreed that we would switch it to the Good Time Collective. That was the beginning. I officially joined as part of the core of that band. And, you know, we started playing. We've really been playing all over the Bay, all over Northern California. We've played down in San Diego, Sacramento.
I was gonna ask, you guys basically like tour every month, right?
we be touring really. We
like everywhere.
I'm doing at least 2 to 3 shows a week, paid shows. You know, which we're having fun, man. We're having a lot of fun, and it's to the point now we're gigging so much we hardly even rehearse. Like, the gigs are our rehearsal, bro. Like, we just...
Y'all clicking on all cylinders now.
We just... Because we're playing a lot of cover songs, so they're already popular songs. It's just a matter of learning them to perform them, but we already know these songs, you know? So, yeah, it's like we're having a good time, man. It's really... The name really says it all. The Good Time Collective. We're really having a good time and setting the soundtrack for others to have a good time. And we play a lot of stuff that make people kind of reminisce and be like, oh, I forgot that song, you know, but we play it live.
I like that, man. I like that.
And we do a lot of bass stuff, man. We're doing a lot of stuff that most bands really, I don't want to say they can't touch. Anybody could probably figure out and do it, but they're not touching. We're doing a lot of stuff that the other bands just aren't doing.
Is it working for you though? Like going out on a limb like that?
It really is, man. We're having a good time. We've been blessed to actually play with some of the real artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just did a show, a food festival in Alameda, where
nice.
GTC band played for Adrian Marcel. You know, and he's kind of, I think he's platinum actually. Mm-hmm. He's out of Oakland. He had a big hit called 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. And our band played for John B.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Legend.
Okay. Okay.
And it's because of these, you know, these relationships we're building at these different venues all over the place. And, so, you know, a major artist catch wind that you got a band that knows how to play their song, and they're like, would you play for my set? Like, yeah. Then the band gets in, we do background. I'm also an engineer, so I do our audio engineering for the band. So I've been able to, I did some audio engineering with John B with the GTC. It was, you know, it's been fun.
I like that. That's tight, man.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So last question. What's your ethnicity?
Okay. So I tell folks I'm German chocolate, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a good conversation starter, but that's it. I'm white and black. My dad is white, mom's is black. You know, Engel is German. That stands for angel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm white and black, but that's the short answer. That's the easy answer. There's a whole melting pot in that too, you know.
Okay. All right. So you are black and German.
Yep.
That's what's up, man. All right, bro. So that about wraps this interview up. Do you want to give everybody your social so they'll know where to find you at?
Yeah, for sure. You can catch me on Instagram at justin.engel.official. You can follow my band at GTC Band on Instagram. Or you could check us out right on our website at www.gtcband.com. Yeah, I mean, come check us out. Follow us on the band page, because then you can see where we're playing at next, you know. We got shows each and every week. So, yeah, for sure.
That's right, man. Well, I appreciate you, bro, for coming on once again. You got the schedule, like you said. You all go ahead, tap in with him, man. Go check his show out. Everybody's real talented. Until next time we talk again, man. Hope everything is bigger and better, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you too, man. Peace.
For sure.